mission is to make your RV experience fun and easy by providing quality recreational vehicles, competitive pricing, and professional sales and service. We're proud to offer the finest names in RVs. Our big inventory of fifth.
Springtime is the best time to buy an SUV from Denny Menholt Rushmore Honda. Choose from late model local trades, Fords, GMCs, Toyotas, Nissans, Jeeps, Subarus, Chevys, and more. Plus, we have the area's best selection of pre-owned Honda and Honda certified pre-owned trucks and SUVs. To make it easier on your bank account, buy with no money down and make no payments for 90 days. The used sport utilities you want are here at Denny Menholt Rushmore Honda or RushmoreHonda.com.
Looking for top-notch printing services? Choose Preferred Printing, your South Dakota union printer. We provide mailing services, create banners, vehicle decals, stationery and business forms, event materials including specialty items, apparel, and more. Our skilled team brings your vision to life with exceptional quality and attention to detail. And as a locally veteran-owned shop, we're dedicated to serving our community. Experience the difference with Preferred Printing. Visit us at preferredsd.com or call 605-333-0535 today.
Great news. I just got the State Farm personal price plan on our home and auto insurance.
You told our agent about my thing for romance novels?
No, you don't have to get that personal. Our agent just helped me choose affordable options to create a personalized price just for us.
Oh, sweet. Then you won't believe the love triangle Jen is in now.
Contact me, State Farm agent Scott Carlson, to create your personal price plan today.
Prices vary by state. Options selected by customer. Availability and eligibility may vary.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 57,000 participants here in South Dakota who take part in high school sports or activities.
Advertising can be a struggle. Where to spend your money? Are you reaching the right audience? If you are looking for an effective method that reaches a large fan base at once, then here's your ticket with Live Ticket TV. With over 90 schools in the state of South Dakota, we can help you advertise locally with just your home team or reach the region and state. Plus, a portion of all sales go directly back to the school. Get a hold of Dylan Kessler today and let's get started in building your brand with Live Ticket TV.
Shop a nice selection of certified pre-owned Toyotas at Denny Menholt Toyota and get financing as low as 5.49% APR for up to 60 months on Camrys, RAV4s, Tacomas, Highlanders, Corollas, and Priuses. That's 5.49 financing for 5 full years. The next best thing to a new Toyota is a certified pre-owned Toyota, and we have them. Shop the area's best selection of used Toyotas and Toyota certified pre-owned at Denny Menholt Toyota or DennyMenholtToyota.com. Where will you find the Black Hills' best selection of used cars, trucks, and SUVs? Denny Menholt Rapid Chevrolet. That's where. Shop GMCs, Rams, Fords, imports, and more. Plus, used Chevys and GM certified pre-owned. Many are late model local trades. Shop over 300 used vehicles and buy with no money down and no payments for 90 days with qualified credit. 16 local and national lenders available and all applications accepted. And we're paying top dollar for all trades. See us at Denny Menholt Rapid Chevrolet or DennyMenholtRapidChevrolet.com.
Hi, this is Nate Brown reminding you to join the Nate Brown Show live weekdays from 4 to 6 p.m. It's Rapid City's sports talk show and Rapid City's only call-in radio show with big-name guests from across the country to the local sports coverage you just can't get anywhere else. Join the conversation every weekday for thought-provoking sports talk. This is your show. Don't miss the Nate Brown Show from 4 to 6 p.m. on 106.7 FM and 1150 a.m. and stream us all the time at foxsportsrapidcity.com.
Do you have a pest problem? Got bats, ants, termites? Family owned and operated, Olson's Pest Technicians have had over 50 years experience taking care of pest problems in places across South Dakota, Nebraska, and Iowa. Utilizing brilliant methods, such as Centricon bait stations for termites and Vicane treatment for bed bugs. There's no pest too tough for Olson's Pest Technicians. If you have pest problems, call 800-KILL-BUGS.
Lucky for us, life is full of choices, big and small. They define us, make us who we are. And when it comes time for you to choose a car, home, your next big adventure, or start a new business, Farmers Union Insurance has the variety of coverage options to protect each perfect moment. Farmers Union Insurance. Contact your local Farmers Union Insurance agent today.
Best Western Ramkota Hotel in Aberdeen is the place to stay for business or the weekend family getaway. You'll feel right at home with ample parking, spacious guest rooms, and complimentary breakfast. And with a convenient location, you'll have easy access to local attractions and events in the area. While staying at the Best Western Ramkota, guests can enjoy an indoor water play land, an on-site Minerva's restaurant, exercise facility, wedding services, and a business center. For friendly service and a great stay, make your reservation today.
Give it off to Cisse, gliding to the basket. Out to 3, Jay Hayes. Good. And Eric Glenn wants to stop the music.
Where can you get surprisingly great rates on auto and renter's insurance? At State Farm. I'm State Farm Agent Matt McCormick, and I'm your one-stop shop in Rapid City for protecting your car and your stuff for surprisingly great rates. So stop looking around. Call me, State Farm Agent Matt McCormick, for surprisingly great auto and renter's rates today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Individual premiums will vary by customer. All applicants subject to State Farm underwriting requirements.
Signature wings, world-class burgers, and the best steak in Rapid City. All that plus a perfect spot to watch the game found right here in Rapid City at Shooters. From its full and complete menu and its one-of-a-kind dessert menu, Shooters has everything you want. Also looking for a little value in your meal? Order online or by the Shooters app and use the promo code LIVETICKET to receive 20% off your order. Again, that's LIVETICKET for 20% off at Shooters in Rapid City.
When you ask for Black Hills Surgical Hospital, you ask for someone who believes in hospitality. You ask for someone who treats everyone like a VIP and believes the absolute best shouldn't cost more and makes you feel comfortable, even when you are vulnerable. You ask for someone who cares about the little things as much as the big things. You ask for someone who treats you like you are loved, because you are. Black Hills Surgical Hospital. Ask for us by name.
Have you heard the bad news?
Welcome back to the Summit Arena. Tom Anderson with you on LiveTicket.tv. Cobblers and Raiders meet for the third time already this season. They met in a regular season contest at Howard Nas. That game switched because of the extreme heat and Stevens not having AC. And the Raiders took care of the Cobblers 3-1. That is the first set win the Cobblers have had in the matches that they played last year and this year. And then they met in the Gillette tournament. The Raiders won that one 2-0. And they are set to meet for the third time here in the semifinals in the gold bracket of the Rapid City Invitational Volleyball tournament. Cobblers have not lost a set yet in this tourney. They defeated Custer 2-0, including a big come from behind 26-24 first set win. They were down 24-16, and 10 straight points got them rolling into the tournament because they were struggling early on in that match. They defeated Douglas 25-18, 27-25. St. Thomas More fell 25-23, 25-22, and in the first game of the bracket this morning, it was Rapid City Central defeating Hot Springs 25-18, 25-20. Cobblers now 7-6 on the season under first-year coach Reese New. For Rapid City Stevens, under first-year coach Lindsey Montague, they are now 10-3 after their win this morning over Rapid City Christian, 25-12, 25-18. Both those sets went pretty much the same. It was a back-and-forth battle up until somewhere in the low teens, and then in both instances, the Raiders pulled away behind the serving and the swinging of senior hitter Sydney Wathen. Raiders lost their first match yesterday after winning the first set against Dakota Valley 25-23. They fell 20-25, 15-25. Dakota Valley and Brookings in the other semifinal game. They're underway right now, tied up at 5 apiece. Mapia Luta was the second opponent for the Raiders. Raiders took care of them 25-9, 25-16, and defeated Belle Fourche 25-19, 25-11 to end yesterday at 2-1. And they were the 5th seed coming in. Defeated Rapid City Christian, the number 4 seed this morning, 25-12, 25-18. In the other games in the opening bracket, Dakota Valley swept Douglas 2-0. Brookings did the same to Kadoka 2-0, although Kadoka gave them fits in the second set, and they actually led at one point. Kadoka handed Brookings their only set loss yesterday as Brookings went 6-1. Dakota Valley one set loss yesterday, and that was the set to Rapid City Stevens. In the silver bracket, the bottom 8 teams, St. Thomas More drew a first-round bye. They are playing Belle Fourche in the semifinals upcoming here as Belle Fourche took care of Lee Deadwood. Tough-fought match, but it was 2-0 for Bell. Hill City over Lakota Tech, 2-0. They are playing Custer on court 4, and Hill City leads that 4-3 early there. Custer advancing after beating Mapia Luta 2-0. For Rapid City Stevens, let's take a look at their starting lineup. Macy Davis will be the libero. Reagan Broderick, a sophomore. Cindy Wathen, the senior. Avery Krause wears number 5. She is a junior. Number 10 is Brianna Brewer, a senior outside hitter. Aspen Montague, the setter, wears number 11. And Mackenzie Schreiber wears number 14. She is a middle hitter. She took a seat to begin the last match as Macy Davis libero got the start. For Rapid City Central, Aubriana Harbison, a 5'7" senior. As they break huddle here, we'll see if we can get the rest of them. Leah Landry, a 5'9" sophomore. Aurora Prudick, 5'11" sophomore. She wears number 19, as I said. Kaya Strasser, a 5'10" junior. And number 7, Kaylee Schartz, 6' senior, the libero Aubrey Sains, and she will replace Strasser in the starting lineup for the Cobblers. Cobblers in their white uniforms trimmed in red. Raiders in their white trimmed in blue. Welcome to Cobbler Raider Volleyball on GoCobblersLive.com, part of the LiveTicket.tv network. It will be the Raiders with the opening serve. Montague to swing it for the Raiders. Serves from the right side, and that'll be an ace to start things off. A little miscommunication between Rickert and Saints. Saints thought Rickert was going to take it. Rickert stepped away, and Montague with the ace puts the Raiders on the board first, 1-0. The jump, the set, this one goes to Saints. Set it up to Harbison, left side. Prudick with the kill. He's tipped at the net. We are tied at 1 apiece. This Cobbler team far different from the team that the Raiders faced even a couple of weeks ago. After that big come-from-behind victory, they've been playing with tons of confidence, and they've been getting some big swings from Prudick and Schartz. That serve played by Brewer. Landry tips it over, and point Cobblers. The officials looked at each other. Well, now they're going to go the other way, and it will go to Raiders, saying that Schartz was interfering over the net. So the Raiders up 2-1. And Sydney Wathen closed out both of the first sets in their win against Rapid City Christian. On the serve, Harbison with the set. Schartz with the tip. And it will be Raiders with the point, 3-1. Schartz just missed the sideline with that attempt, and Wathen steps back in with the serve. Sains gets tied up. Schartz keeps it alive. Prudick with the free ball over. Wathen with the bump. with the set, and Kraus got it to go over the net. It looked like he hit the net and then rolled. Raiders with a couple of breaks here early lead it 4-1. Wathen step back on the serve. Played by Prudick, set by Harbison. The tip by Landry, and it's rejected at the net for the Raiders. I believe that was Kraus with the defensive play, and the Raiders have opened up a 5-1 lead. Raiders with, since last year, 5 straight match wins over the Cobblers, and they haven't been close. Prudick with the kill, as Montague could not handle the hit, and the Cobblers pick up their second point, and it'll be Prudick back to serve for Rapid City Central. 5-2, Raiders with the lead, opening set. Dakota Valley leads Brookings by 2 on court 3. That's the other gold semifinal, 11-9. Hill City and Custer, Hill City up by 2. Serve handled on the backside, pushed over by Brewer, kept alive by the Cobblers. It will be Raiders with the point, though, 6-2. Stepping back to the service line now for Rapid City Stevens, Reagan Broderick, the sophomore. And a couple of big plays at the end of the second set against Rapid City Christian. A couple of blocks at the net. Raiders will set it up. Blocked by Sharts. Reset again. Back hit by Wathen. Sains with the dig. One time over. Backs up by Montague. Blocked by Sharts, but out of bounds off the hit by Kraus, and the Raiders open up a 5-point lead here early, 7-2. Hill City and Custer now tied 8 apiece. Waiting for Belfouche and St. Thomas More to get started on court 1, the other semifinal in the silver bracket. Prudick with the bump, Harbison with the set, the hit. Played by the Raiders, left side. Brewer sends it deep. Sains with the dig. Harbison with the bump. Sharts with the free ball over to Wathen on the back row. Montague sets. Schreiber. Harbison will play it. Prudick with the bump. The hit by Rickert is played by the Raiders. They'll go left side. Brewer with the power hit. Prudick plays it. Harbison cross-court set. Raiders will set it again. Brewer left side. Taps it over the defense. Tipped at the net. Back row couldn't come up with it. The Raiders 8-2 now on top of the Cobblers by 6. Sophomore Reagan Broderick stays on the serve for Rapid City Stevens. Send it cross court to Prudick. Harbison sets. Landry mistimed. One time bump. Sharts with the kill. She's had a big tournament. Raiders with the overpass, and Sharts gets the kill. Cobblers within 5, 8-3. Sharts will serve. Strasser back in the Cobbler lineup. Joins Rickert and Landry on the front line. Sharts on the serve. Davis can't handle it, but we have a dead ball. As a warm-up ball from the adjacent court 1 rolls on. Sharts will do it again. 3 serving 8. Brookings and Dakota Valley now tied 13 apiece. That's going to be a big match. They have big hitters on both sides of the net. Winners of these two matches meet at 12:30 for the championship. And Montague said she jammed it into the net. Cobblers have cut the lead now to 8-4. Sharts will stay on the serve for Rapid City Central. Couple of bounce. She serves from the left side. The right-handed serve goes deep. Davis with the bump. Montague with the set. Left side Brewer with the swing, and the block by Landry and Strasser ends up on their side of the net. Raiders up 9-4. Sains will come back in. Sharts checks out. Front line of Strasser, Harbison, and Landry for the Cobblers. Go deep to Sains. Harbison with the set. Middle set. Strasser taps it over. Davis up front to Montague, and Schreiber takes it deep. And out of the ballpark, center field, 9-5. Stevens with a 4-point lead. It'll be Landry. And we did not see Leah Landry, I think, serve one time so far in any of the matches today, but she steps up there, almost gets the ace. Landry with the bump to Harbison, cross court. Rickard couldn't get there. Raiders will play it, right side. Schreiber again, too hard. And the Cobblers pick up another hitting error point from Schreiber. Schreiber had a couple of big kills against Rapid City Christian. as they closed out that second set. Landry. Wathen with the bump. Montague tries to push it over. Does. Cobblers pull it off the bottom of the net. Rickard with the swing. Wathen up front to Montague. Brewer is too deep, and the Cobblers will come back to within 2 off the hitting errors by the Raiders. Last 3 points for Rapid City Central off hits that went too deep on the kill attempts. 7 serving 9. Here comes Landry again. And that's going to be too deep on the serving error. The Raiders hit double digits. They lead it by 3, 10-7. Brianna Brewer, the senior, will do the serving for the Raiders. Prudick with the bump, Harbison with the set, Rickert with the swing, the block at the net by the Raiders. Cobblers will try it again. Harbison to Rickert. Rickert puts it over the defense. Brewer digs it out. Montague center set to Schreiber. Too hot to handle for Sains, and the Raiders will get the serve again with Brewer leading by 4, 11-7. The Raiders have Schreiber, Montague, and Wathen on the front line. Krause, Davis, and serving Brewer on the back line. Sains pops it up to Harbison. She will get it to Prudick, who just taps it over, and the Raiders couldn't handle the soft tap by Prudick. Cobblers back to within 3, 11-8. It will be Isabel Rickert to serve for the Cobblers. We've seen pretty regular rotation for the Cobblers through the first several matches. That one is just in for the ace by Rickert. Rickert outstanding on the serve on the JV side, and now gets an ace here on the varsity side. She's done double duty, as has Bailey Baird Tripp for the Central Cobblers. Rickert with the right-handed jump serve. Picked up by Krause. Montague sets to Wathen, who hammers it, and Sains knocks it into court 3, where Dakota Valley leads Brookings 19-16. They were just coming to a timeout, so it didn't interrupt their play. The Raiders up by 3, 12-9. Macy Davis, the libero, back to serve. She stands almost all the way to the right side, serving with the right hand. Now steps in a little bit. Sains has to dig it out. Harbison with the set. The push by Prudick. The dive by Krause. The push over by Montague. Harbison to Prudick. Again, that soft touch. Krause to Montague. Left side. Wathen with the kill, and it's in. Wathen, the outstanding player for the Raiders so far in this tournament. She carried them to victory with the kills and the serves against Rapid City Christian. Of course, had help from her friends, but she was definitely the standout player. Harbison, Prudick free ball over, goes into the net. And the Cobblers couldn't handle the ball on their side of the net. Timeout on the floor. The Raiders up by 5, 14-9 here in set number 1 in the semifinals of the Rapid City Invitational Volleyball Tournament on GoCobblersLive.com.
Sinned and fall short of the glory of God, and the wages of sin is death. But have you heard the good news? God demonstrates his own love toward us in this, that while we were still sinners, Christ died for us. God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believes in him shall not perish, but have everlasting life. Want to know more about life and hope? Call or text 605-858-3107.
Tom Anderson back with you at the Monument in the Summit Arena. Semifinals happening on all the courts for the gold bracket. It is Dakota Valley leading Brookings 20-16. And Rapid City Stevens up by 5 over Rapid City Central 14-9. The winners of those 2 matches will meet for the gold bracket championship. Sains handles the serve up front to Harbison. Prudick with a big hit. Sends Krause to her backside. And the ball over to the other court. Prudick, for the first time, unwinds. And the Cobblers have hit double digits. They trail it by 4. 14-10 as Sains will step back to serve for the Cobblers. Sends it deep and too deep. Out of bounds it goes. Back-to-back serving errors for the Cobblers. And the Raiders up by 5. It will be Aspen Montague to serve for Rapid City Stevens. The 5-point lead Goes deep, played by the Cobblers, and Schartz with the kill. Bailey Beard Tripp has checked into the Cobbler lineup. And serving for Rapid City Central will be Harbison, one of the 3 captains for Rapid City Central. Serve handled by Brewer, up front to Montague, over to Wathen, cross-court hit, played by Landry. Harbison with the bump set. Prudick tries to tip it over, blocked by Kraus. Cobblers will try it again. Harbison to Prudick. Shoves it into Kraus. And a point to Rapid City Central as the block went out of bounds. 15-12, Stevens with the 3-point lead. Harbison with the right hand, a little jump, sends it back to Davis. Montague set in middle, block, and the Raiders cannot handle it. The block of Roderick's attempted kill. And officials discussing it will be Raiders with the point and the ball. Cobblers looking for an explanation. And we say the Cobblers were over the net. And the Raiders with the serve and the 4-point lead, 16-12. And Sydney Wathen back in the serving box for the Raiders. And puts it into the net. That might, I think, her first service error of the tournament, of the matches that we've seen. We didn't see all of their matches that first day, as they alternated matches with the Cobblers as far as times. Prudick with the serve for the Cobblers, 13-16. Davis digs it out. Kraus saves it. Sane sets it to Harbison. Schartz with the big hit, and off the block, out of bounds it goes. And Schartz powers through the block, brings the Cobblers to within 2. 16-14, Prudick and Schartz have been big on the swings. They've had some help with Isabel Rickert early. Rickert's been a little bit more quiet offensively. Leah Landry has been pretty quiet offensively as well for the Cobblers. Davis up front to Montague. Brewer with the big swing into the net it goes, and the Cobblers are within a point now, 16-15. So just as the Cobblers did in the first set against Hot Springs this morning, the first set against Custer, they struggled a little bit even against Douglas and St. Thomas More in the opening set. Starting to find their rhythm. Right side, Kraus block at the net. Cobblers keep it alive. Kraus punches it over. Schartz will get it over the net. Davis, the set and the kill. That is Broderick, who found the hole in the back line of the Cobbler defense and stops that Cobbler run. Puts the Raiders back up by a deuce, 17-15. Dakota Valley up by a deuce against Brookings in the first set, 22-20. Custer by 3 over Hill City, 20-17. St. Thomas More leads the Bronx of Belle Fourche, 10-5. Harbison sets to Schartz, and Schartz with another kill. Sends it deep. Wathen has to go to the floor. Couldn't come up with a save. And Schartz has unleashed the power. He's going to step back to serve for the Cobblers, trailing by 1. It'll be 16 serving 17. Landry, Strasser, who's checked back in, and Rickert, the front line for Rapid City Central. Prudick, Harbison, and Schartz on the back line. Kraus up front to Montague, sets it to Kraus, who hits it into the net, and we are tied at 17 apiece. It looked like the Raiders were going to run away and hide as they have in their previous matches against Rapid City Central. The Cobblers have come back to tie it. Schartz, Davis with the overhand to Montague, free ball over. Prudick with the bump, Harbison with the set, Strasser and Brewer at the net, 10-on-10. And it is the Cobblers with the point, 18-17. They've taken lead, timeout on the court. And we'll be back with more Cobbler Raider Volleyball from the Invitational on GoCobblersLive.com, part of the LiveTicket.tv network.
Would you buy your insurance from a cartoon character?
What's up, Doc?
Cartoons are good for a laugh, but when you're in an accident or you need your home covered and need help, it's no laughing matter. That's why you need a real person, like Lance at Van Zee Insurance Associates. It's not just simple insurance either. Lance has you covered with home, life, auto, and business. Van Zee Insurance is your place to call. Stop by today or give Lance a call at 605-393-2399.
Back at the Summit, Wildcats looking for their set point win against Hill City. Panthers of Dakota Valley up 23-21. And the Bobcats get a point, 23-22. Sharks with the serve back to court two. Cobblers and Raiders. Brewer has to try and reach behind out of the net. Raiders save it. They keep it alive. The block of Krause's attempted kill. And it is Landry. Couldn't get a clean hit. Here comes Krause on the attack. Sharks with the bump. Harbison with the set. Rickert with the swing. The block by the Raiders. Harbison will try the backside to Landry with the big swing. There's a block. Brewer again at the net. Back-to-back blocks. Harbison will set. Rickert will swing. A block and then out of bounds. That is Krause. Went off her elbow, and the Raiders, who had this set in hand, now trail by 2 as the Cobblers lead at 19-17. Sharks will serve for Rapid City Central. Davis bumps it up to Montague. Montague back hit by Wathen. Sharks with the bump. Harbison with the bump set. Rickert taps it over. Montague to Davis. Left side, Brewer rises. Block at the net. That was Landry and Strasser there. Krause pushes it over. Sharks pumps it up. Harbison. Middle set to Strasser. Wathen dives to her left. Can't save it. And the Cobblers up 20-17. They trailed in the first set against Custer in their opening match 24-16. Scored 10 straight to come up with the win there, and they have come from behind here. They lead it by 3, 20-17. It'll be Davis handling the serve again. Montague to Krause, taps it over. Sharks with the bump set. Harbison, it's going to be Cobbler point. Violation by the Raiders. 21-17. Cobblers up by 4. Dakota Valley at set point as they lead the Bobcats at Brookings 24-23. Krause with the bump up top to Montague. Her set into the net. They get the ball over. Sharks will bump it. Harbison to Strasser. Can't get it in the far corner. That is an out. They want a tip at the net, and the Cobblers are not going to get it. And it'll be Raiders with the point. They draw within 3 now, 21-18. They stop that Cobbler run. Sharks will sit down. Sains will come back in. And it will be Krause to serve for Rapid City Stevens. Sends it deep, handled by Prudick to Harbison. Rickert with the swing down the line. Krause off balance with the save. Brewer powers it up. Sains digs it in the back. Harbison, big swing, Rickert. Wathen with the save. The set, Wathen with the back row hit. Sains will bump it one time over. Cobblers keep it alive. Prudick with the bump set. Rickert taps it over. Brewer keeps it up. Montague, back row hit by Wathen, right to Harbison. Prudick, bump set to Rickert. Rickert with the swing, sends it deep. Wathen will pick it up there. Montague with the push over, played by Harbison for the Cobblers. Sains, Rickert with the swing on the pass over. Left side, Brewer over the defense, and that will be a point for the Raiders. Both teams being patient on offense, just trying to get the ball over, looking for their opening, and Brewer found it down the far sideline. The Raiders trailed 21-19, and it'll be Krause to serve it up again for Rapid City Stevens. Little hop and a jump on the net. Goes over Rickert, Harbison, Strasser, dumps it down. Wathen on the slide save, and that is a hit into the net by Mackenzie Schreiber on the center set. Cobblers lead back to 3, 22-15. Leah Landry will go back to serve. The Cobblers have not really used their bench much here in this match so far. Pushover by Montague. Sains alert, and that ball is not going to get over the net. The Sains was alert, but nobody else was. Harbison on the diving save knocked it into the Cobbler bench, and Rickert couldn't get there to get it over the net. 22-20, the Cobbler lead at 2. And Brianna Brewer on the serve for the Raiders. Brewer played there by Prudick. Rickert to nobody in particular. Actually, that was not Prudick. I believe that was Rickert, thinking Prudick was going to be home there. Raiders back to within 1, 22-21 after they led big early. Prudick with the bump, Harbison with the set, Strasser with the kill. And again, the Cobblers want a hit. They don't get it. And we are tied at 22 apiece. We're going to have a timeout on the floor. Rapid City Central wants to talk about it as they see their 3-point lead evaporate. We're tied at 22. Back with more Cobbler Raider volleyball on GoCobblersLive.com.
Out here, you learn that to keep growing, you have to keep changing. CHS and the farmers and ranchers we serve know all about change, because together we've changed agriculture. That's why we're the largest farmer-owned cooperative in the country. So farmers own the system they count on, with advantages at every step. From innovative tools that help crops grow, to grain processing expertise, to energy solutions, we create connections to empower agriculture. Learn more at chsinc.com.
This is what...
We are back out of the timeout, tied at 22 apiece on court one in the silver semis. St. Thomas More over Belfouche, 21-9 in the first set. Cobblers trying to keep this ball alive. Free ball over. Rickert to Schreiber. Cross court set. Wathen. Her kill attempt played by the Cobblers well. Rickert over the net. Montague set. Schreiber has her kill blocked at the net. Montague will push it over. Diving save by Sains. Harbison keeps it alive. Rickert tips it over. Kraus. Back row hit by Wathen. Krudik plays it. Harbison. Schreiber again with the swing. Gets the kill, and the Cobblers up by one, 23-22. Both teams very patient offensively, not trying to force anything. And that time, the Cobblers able to find the hole in the Raider defense. They lead it by one, 23-22. Isabel Rickert, who had the kill, back on the serve. Cobbler coach Reese New having a discussion with the officials. I think they're talking about their rotation to make sure they are rotated correctly. And the serve sign is given. Rickert will oblige. Sends it back to Brewer, to Montague. Wathen with the kill. That's going to go out. And the Raiders now looking for the tip. And they don't get the call. Cobblers at set point, 24-22. Rickert to serve. Sends it deep. Davis handles it. Montague. It'll be a free ball over by Wathen. The set for Prudik. She was out of bounds, but got it inside the pin, and that kill is good by Wathen, just inside the far corner on the cross-court hit. And the Raiders at 24-23 trying to tie it up and send it to extra serves. Davis, the libero, on the service line for Rapid City Stevens. Couple little hops, sends it over. It's played by the Cobblers. They'll push it over. Brewer, Montague back set. Schreiber has her kill partially blocked. Cobblers return it. Montague cross set. Wathen finds the hole, and we are tied at 24. Sydney Wathen has been outstanding here today against St. Thomas More. Now against the Cobblers, tied at 24 apiece. Cobblers were at set point. They trailed early, came back, and now the Raiders on a comeback of their own, tied at 24 each. Harbison at the net. Raiders keep it alive. They'll push it over. And no, it'll be a lift against Montague. And the Cobblers with the point. And that will send Brianna Brewer over to talk to the official. He's going to argue the point. We don't have the Raider captains. I'm assuming Brewer and Wathen could very well be the captains, as Brewer went over to have a discussion with the official up on the podium. To no avail. Sains with the serve and the 1 point lead. Looking for set point here. Cross court set. Wathen. Sains will dig it there. Harbison sets it to Sharks. Tries to kill. Brewer comes up with it. Montague over to Wathen. Sends it deep. Sains will bump it up. Harbison with the bump set. Prudik at the net, and Montague wins that joust. We are tied at 25 apiece. A couple of big defensive plays for the Raiders there as the Cobblers were at set point. We are tied now at 25 each. Montague with the serve. Sends it back. Sains got tied up. Harbison with the save. The free ball over. Just hits the net and rolls. Wathen with the hit. Blocked at the net. Sains with the diving save. Harbison sets. Prudik with the hit. Knocked up in the air by Brewer. Montague cross set to Wathen. Touches it. Oh, it was going out of bounds, and the Cobblers dive after it. I don't think that was going to be a a ball that was going to hit inside the brown, but Landry with the leap couldn't take the chance, and the Raiders now at set point. After facing the precipice twice, Harbison sets, Sharks hits, and that finds a donut hole. For a moment, it looked like Broderick might have gotten the pancake save, but the Raiders all dove for the ball at the same time. Nobody there to hit it. Once the ball popped up, we are tied at 26 each. Harbison to serve for the Cobblers. Davis will dig it. Montague with the bump set, left side. Kraus. And it'll be Cobbler point as the ball hit the pin. The antennas are out of bounds. And the Cobblers looking at set point again, 27-26. Harbison sends it deep. Davis, Montague back set. Wathen will have to free ball it over. Sharps. Harbison back set. Landry at the net. Cobblers with the point. Win the set. 28-26. Back with set number 2 on GoCobblersLive.com.
This is beyond X's and O's. This is the difference mutual respect makes. This is what character looks like. This is what defines us in South Dakota. This is sportsmanship. School sports, it's not the outcome that matters most, but the way the games are played. This message presented by the South Dakota High School Activities Association and the South Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
How do we solve our patients' hard-to-solve medical problems? Our doctors and specialists collaborate, sharing their vast knowledge and Mayo Clinic's unique expertise. It's this working together that helps solve our patients' hard-to-solve medical problems. Monument Health, proud member of the Mayo Clinic Care Network.
At Dakota Discount.
Tom Anderson back as we get ready for set number 2 on GoCobblersLive.com. Rapid City Central, Rapid City Stevens. The Raiders started off the first set on fire, and the Cobblers come back, took the lead. The Raiders came back and tied it. Cobblers had set point, a couple of opportunities. Raiders came back to tie it, and finally the Cobblers come up with a 28-26 first set win, and they snap that losing streak in the sets against the Raiders by winning a set in their regular season match. Now they win the first set here. They have lost 5 straight matches against the Raiders from last year into this year. I'm guessing that losing streak may go back beyond that. Cobblers will serve, though, to start set number 2. Harbison too far. And the service error gives the point to Rapid City Stevens. They will start with Montague on the serve. Davis and Brewer in the back row. The front row is Wathen, Kraus, and Schreiber. Prudick to Harbison to Sharts. And Sharts with the kill. Ties it up at 1 apiece for the Cobblers. They will start Landry, Rickert, and Sharts in the front court. Sains the libero. Prudick and Harbison will be the backcourt as Prudick gets set to serve, tied 1 apiece. The run, the jump. Wathen goes down to get it. Montague sets it to Kraus, and that hit is out of bounds. Cobblers up 2-1. Custer leading Hill City 1-0, and they lead in the second set 13-11. Dakota Valley over Brookings 12-2 in their second set. Dakota Valley won the first set there. Served by Prudick. Davis will dig it. Middle row back set Montague. Wathen taps it. Dive by Sains. Harbison to Rickert. Wathen, or check that, Kraus blocked at the net, and the Cobblers lead it 3-1 now. It was the Raiders who jumped out to the early lead. The Cobblers, as they have in the first set of every one of their matches, struggled a bit before they found their rhythm, and now the Cobblers into the second set lead at 3-1. Erica Clough, for the first time, will check in for Rapid City Stevens. Prudick with the serve. Bumped by Brewer, set by Montague, and kill by Broderick. So that's how you do it. It's a perfection by the Raiders that time, 3-2, and Wathen to serve for the Raiders. Goes deep. Prudick got tied up. We got it to the front row to Harbison. Schartz with the kill attempt and comes through. The ball off the top of the net disrupted the rhythm of the Raider defense. And Schartz with another kill will go back to serve. Cobblers lead at 4-2. St. Thomas More won the first set in their match. They're down 6-4 to Belfouche in the second. Back set. The attack blocked by the Cobblers. Harbison, back set. Landry will tip it over and finds the hole in the donut. 5-2, the Cobblers lead it. Front row for the Cobblers now. Strasser, Landry, and Rickert. Schartz on the service. Prudick and Harbison also out there for Rapid City Central. Bumped by Wathen from the back row. Montague sets. Big swing by Brewer. Prudick plays it. Harbison cross-court set. Rickert ties up Wathen. Free ball over by Clough. Prudick plays it. Harbison sets it. And didn't quite get it set where she wanted to. Point goes to the Raiders, 5-3. Set it, but nobody was home, and it dropped to the floor. It will be Reagan Broderick, the sophomore, rotating back to the service box for the Raiders. To Prudick, middle back row to Harbison, middle, and again, the Harbison set is not there. And the Raiders within one, 5-4. We have not seen the deep rotation from Coach Reese New in this match that we saw throughout the tournament. Broderick sends it deep. Prudick bumps it up. Harbison with the set. Rickert with the swing. The block at the net. Wathen will play it from the back row. Set up front to Schreiber. Landry, Harbison. Rickert with the tip. Montague, Wathen, left side Brewer with the big swing and the big kill. We are tied at 5 apiece. Brewer has been a little silent offensively. He gets the kill there. Dakota Valley up over Brookings now, 13-4. Dakota Valley proving to be the class maybe of this tournament. They've got some big hitters over there. That is a big hit by Broderick, sails far into center field. And the Cobblers will have the serve leading 6-5, and Leah Landry, who had been rotated out throughout the tournament, out of the service position, sends this one deep. Played by Clough up front, Schreiber. The dive one time over by Landry. Right side, Clough pushes it. Sains to Harbison. Strasser with the swing, Brewer with the block. Harbison sets this time to Rickert. Down the line, in the corner is good. 7-5, the Cobblers lead. So have a couple of lesser used players out there for the Raiders right now, in the persons of Erica Clough and Mackenzie Schreiber. Served by Landry, out. She tried to sneak it down the line. It was one of those look-away passes that you see in basketball. She was looking at the cross-court corner, tried to sneak it down the near corner, but out of bounds it goes, and the Raiders, trailing by 1, will send Erica Clough, the sophomore, to the service box. Bump up by Rickert, tap over by Strasser. Davis kept it alive. Wathen to Brewer on the swing into the net, and that would be point for the Cobblers. Brewer on the swing was the third hit. Raiders tried to play it out of the net, and the Cobblers up by 2, 8-6. Still no rotation. Basically, Sains and Schartz have been the only ones that have really rotated for Rapid City Central here. Rickert on the serve. Davis goes down to the knees to save it. Montague sets backside to Brewer, and that is in. Just inside the line. The Raider bench all dive onto the floor in celebration of the point. Brewer to serve for Rapid City Stevens. 7 serving 8. Cobblers up 1-0. Semifinals of the Rapid City Invitational Volleyball Tournament. Winner takes on Dakota Valley or Brookings. Right now it's looking like Dakota Valley as they lead the second set, 16-5. Set by Harbison. The running hit by Prudick. Davis got a hand on it. Kraus couldn't come up with it, and the Cobbler lead moves back to 2, 9-7. And here we'll see Strasser rotate out. Sains will come in on the serve, and that'll be an ace. Davis kind of took a step back and then had to come up to try and salvage it. We see Bailey Beard-Tripp is also rotated in for Rapid City Central. Prudick with them in the backcourt. Kraus came up with the save. Ball knocked over by the Raiders. They'll play it off the return by the Cobblers. Bumped by Landry to Harbison. Sharts has her hit blocked at the net. That is Wathen with the big block for the Raiders. Raiders with the point and the serve now. Davis 10-8. Cobbler lead. Broderick will come back in as Schreiber sits down. Davis clears the net. Harbison sets it up. Prudick with the free ball over. Tipped at the net by Montague. Montague will now set. Back hit by Brewer. Blocked by Schartz, and the Cobblers lead it by 3, 11-8. Harbison, Beard-Tripp, and Sains on the back line for the Cobblers. Landry, Schartz, and Prudick the front line now. Serve handled by Kraus in the back. The set. Wathen with the tip. Diving save by Prudick. Harbison keeps it alive. Landry tips it over. Brewer to Montague. Wathen will try the big swing and gets it inside the line between Prudick and Sains on the far side. Cross-court kill by Wathen brings the Raiders back to within 2. Another clutch play by senior Sidney Wathen. Brianna Brewer, 9 serving 11. Raiders down by a deuce. Brewer sends it to Prudick with the bump. Harbison with the set. Landry with the big swing. Blocked at the net by the Raiders. Harbison will set it for Landry again. This time she'll tap it over. Can't get it over. Hit the top of the net. Bounce back on the Cobbler side. And the Raiders within a point now, 11-10. And it will be Aspen Montague to serve for Rapid City Stevens. The right-hander up to the line. Goes to Prudick on the back line. To Harbison. Back set. Prudick with the tap. And that is a point for the Cobblers. Prudick using the soft touch over the block. Cobblers back up by 2, 12-10, and Prudick will be serving for the Cobblers. Beard-Tripp checks out. Rickert back in. 2 JV players, splitting time between JV and varsity, both getting a lot of time on both. And Prudick with the serve. Davis with the bump. Montague with the set. Wathen with the swing. Somehow Prudick kept that alive, or that was not Prudick, that was Harbison who kept it alive. Raiders will play it. Wathen with the swing, gets it over. Harbison to Schartz, dumps it over. Pancake save. Wathen gets the ball over. Big defensive play by the Raiders. Harbison will set. Schartz tips it. Montague, Davis, push it over. That was Kraus. Harbison comes running up. The hit by Rickert will be played by Brewer, set by Montague. Left side, Wathen down the line. Prudick keeps it up. Harbison to Rickert. That's going to be too deep. And the Raiders back to within a point. Trailing 11-12. Wathen will come up on the serve. Got a tie my shoe timeout here for the Cobblers. Aurora Prudick taking her time tying it, trying to slow down the Raiders' momentum here a little bit. Now a ball comes flying over from the St. Thomas More Court. They lead the Bronx to the Cavaliers 16-14. They lead 1-0. Here's the serve from Wathen. Handled by Prudick, set by Harbison. The hit by Schartz, that is blocked at the net. But the point goes to Schartz. She seems to have a pattern, gets a kill, goes back to serve. Cobblers lead by a deuce, 13-11. Cavaliers lead by a deuce, 16-14. Hill City over Custer right now, 23-18. Dakota Valley over Brookings, 22-9, trying to close out their set. Cobblers on the return. Prudick sets it high. Pushed over by Rickert. Montague, Davis bump set, far side. Brewer, the big swing. Schartz will play it. Harbison sets up. Rickert with the left-handed push. Brewer to Montague. Back row hit by Wathen. Hot to handle. Schartz kept it alive. Free ball over. That is Strasser. Davis will set to Montague. The big swing by Broderick. Handled by the Cobblers. Davis with the save off the kill attempt. Brewer taps it over the front row. Harbison sets. Strasser pushes it over. Wathen. Back set Montague. Kraus with the hit. And the block goes out of bounds. It would be Raider point. Rickard couldn't come up with a clean block, and the Cobblers couldn't catch it on the end line. Sharks will sit down as Sains checks back in for Rapid City Central, and the Cobblers will take a timeout. They lead it by 1, 13-12. Second set, they are up 1-0. We're back with more Cobbler Raider Volleyball on liveticket.tv.
Our mission is to make your RV experience fun and easy by providing quality recreational vehicles, competitive pricing, and professional sales and service. We're proud to offer the finest names in RVs. Our big inventory of fifth wheels, travel trailers, and toy haulers allow us to save customers thousands of dollars compared to most dealers. Come see us at either of our two locations, 3330 East Mall Drive, Rapid City, or 11200 JB Road, exit 48, Somerset.
Springtime.
Rapid City Central up by 1, took the timeout, leading Rapid City Stevens 1-0, 13-12 here in set number 2. Been a back and forth, typical Cobbler Raider bruising affair. Raiders have dominated this year and into last year, but the Cobblers, a far different team than they were a couple of weeks ago when the Cobblers and Raiders opened the home season. They were both on the road to play Aberdeen Central and Pier to start the year. The swing, the block at the net, and it's a point for the Cobblers as Rickard comes up with a kill. Dakota Valley has defeated Brookings. They will take on the winner of this Cobbler Raider matchup in the championship for the gold bracket. The serve by Landry, handled by Davis, set by Montague. Here comes Kraus on the attack, the block, and the official couldn't see if it was in or out because there were players blocking the view. Now the other official is going to come over and visit. They're all going to visit with the main official. No call made. Get you caught up on the other scores. St. Thomas More 1-0 lead over Belle-Fourche, and they lead in the second set 20-18, now 20-19. Custer and Hill City are tied 1 set apiece as Hill City's had a tough tournament. They came in undefeated. They have struggled a bit here. Custer won the first set. Hill City comes back to win set number 2. And it would be Raiders with the point, 14-13 on the service. Harvison sets it to Strasser, taps it in, pancake save, pushed over by Davis. No push that time by Strasser. She lets it rip, and it's the point to Rapid City Central. Or was she in the net? In the net. No, now they're going to roll it back over. And it will be the Cobblers with the 2-point lead, 15-13, as Isabel Rickert, the junior, will go back to serve for Rapid City Central. She's done well in her service and her playing time in this tournament. Davis up front to Montague. Brewer saved by Rickert, pushed over by Harbison. Set by Montague, that is at the net. The joust won by the Cobblers. Back set by Brewer, push it over the net. The big swing by Landry is out. Not seeing her take a lot of big swings in the tournament. Or was that Prudick? That was Prudick, not Landry. Bailey Beard Tripp comes in as Rickert will sit down, so that rotation in effect now. The bump by Beard Tripp. Set, Strasser dumps it. The save at the net. The Raiders can't get it over. Davis with the diving save knocked it into the net. The Raiders couldn't find the handle. 16-14, the Cobblers back to a 2-point lead. That's the way this match started, with the Raiders going big. The Cobblers came back to win the first set, and this set has been back and forth. Montague with the set front side. Wathen, played by Sains. Cross-court set. Prudick finds the back corner, and the Cobblers have opened up a 3-point lead. That's the biggest they've had in a while. It's basically been 2, back to 1, back to 2, back to 1. Kind of like some of the penny stocks that I have, bouncing back and forth for a year. Cobblers will have Sains on the service, leading 17-14. Kraus will play it up front to Montague. Wathen with the big hit. Sains with the save. Harbison sets. Prudick with the big swing. Powers through the block, and the Cobblers lead it by 4. 18-14. Cobblers trying to do the improbable here in advance of the championship. They came in with just a 3-6 record and had really struggled in the season. Sains into the net with the service error. Cobblers have played pretty error-free on the service here today, but Sains at an inopportune time sends that one into the net. And the Raiders back to within 3, 18-15. Davis to serve for the Raiders. Sends it to Sains. Libero to Libero. Harvison at the net. Got it over. Davis will set it to Wathen. Wathen. Prudick about gets knocked over. Harvison. Sharks with the free ball. Brewer to Montague. Center set and the block by the Cobblers goes out of bounds. Raiders back to within a deuce. 18-16, Davis. Sometimes I don't know who gets the point because they're celebrating even though they lost the point. Harvison sets to Sharts, sends it deep. And the Raiders within one. Sharts mistimed her jump that time. Got under the ball, sent it rolling out of bounds. 18-17, the Cobblers with the lead. Davis on the serve. Baird Tripp sets it up to Harvison. Harvison to Prudick. Prudick with the pushover. Montague sets left side. Wathen down the line. Got the kill. We are tied at 18 apiece. So it looked like the Cobblers with the 4-point lead were going to start putting a stretch to it, but the Raiders with 4 straight points have tied it at 18 up. Davis for another serve for the Raiders. To Baird Tripp. To Harvison. Sharks again mistimes her jump, but gets the ball over. Back row hit by Brewer to Prudick. Harvison sets the far side. Prudick with the big kill. She got the windup and the big power. Prudick has a big arm, and the Raiders trail by a point now, 18-19. As Harvison goes back to do the serving for Rapid City Central. Brewer handles it mid-back row. Montague sets. Wathen has to push it over, and we got a lift. Cobblers up by 2. They hit 20. 20-18. They lead at 1-0. Cavaliers close out the Bronx. 2-0. Another service error, though, for Rapid City Central. They cannot stand prosperity, apparently, and they give the point back to the Raiders. And on the serve for Rapid City Stevens will be Aspen Montague. Montague approaches the service line, a little jump, sends it deep to Sains. Harvison sets it to Prudick, taps it over. Davis pops it up. Montague sets. Kraus goes cross court and out of bounds. Heads up play by Landry. Saw it had too much elevation, and the Cobbler lead back to 2, 21-19. It'll be Prudick to the service line for Rapid City Central. Hill City and Custer tied in their rubber set of their match. They're tied up 4 apiece. Here comes Prudick on the approach and the serve. Tap over, and the Cobblers can't handle it. The quick tap by Broderick caught the Cobbler defense off guard. One-handed save attempt goes flying off the back end. Wathen serving 20-21. Trying to keep their hopes alive here. Sains pops it up. Harvison with the set, the approach, the hit by Rickert. Got the kill. Hit the block, went out of bounds, and the Cobblers lead it by 2 again, 22-20. The biggest lead of this set has been by the Cobblers at 18-14. And with Sharts on the serve, Cobblers see if they can go on a 3-point run to close out the match. Sends it deep. Wathen will bump it up to Montague. The pushover, and that's another soft hit by Broderick. Ends up in a point for the Raiders. Got between Landry and Harvison. And neither of them really made a decision to go after it. On the serve will be Broderick. Went deep, set it. Strasser at the net. Went for the kill and got it inside the block. 23-21. Cobblers with the lead. Leah Landry will step back to serve. Tried to sneak it inside the near corner last time. Tries to again this time. Wathen will play it. Set to Kraus. Got it over. Harvison. Landry. Landry tried to push it up from the back row set and instead put it into the net. Another error by the Cobblers and allow the Raiders to stick with it. Raiders serving 22-23. Avery Kraus on the serve for the Raiders. Sains got tied up. Landry, the big hit by Prudick, clears the net and score it. Unbelievable. The serve caught Sane. She started to go low, instead went above the shoulders, knocked it backwards. The save by Landry, and Prudick somehow got the ball all the way to the net from beyond the back line, hit the net, rolled over, and the Cobblers now at match point. Davis bumps it, Montague sets it, push over by Schreiber, and that ball is knocked around. Another free ball over. Cobblers wait for Schreiber. They play it there. Set. And Prudick with the winner. And the Cobblers advance to the championship with a 25-22 win over crosstown rival Rapid City Stevens. And that snaps, again, just going back to last year, because I still haven't looked at the previous seasons. The Raiders swept them last year 3 matches. They won the first 2 matches this year, and the Cobblers come up with the win. They will take on a very tough Dakota Valley Panther team in the championship game. That was set to start at 12:45. We were running way ahead of time last night. I don't know what time they ended up getting out of here, but they still had a couple of matches going on when I left last night at about 7:30. Because they had JVs playing here along with the varsity. But today, action moving much faster. It'll be Dakota Valley and Rapid City Central in the championship of the gold bracket. St. Thomas More awaits the winner of the Hill City Custer match up there, tied 1 set apiece, and they're tied in the third set at 8 points apiece. We'll be back with that Cobbler Dakota Valley Championship on GoCobblersLive.com, part of the LiveTicket.tv network.